Hey guys, so I thought I would do another video with the cellular degradation device and just show you some creative applications here. If you haven't checked out my other video on this device, it kind of breaks down the basics of how it works. But in this video, I thought I'd show you a couple of little creative tricks that I have discovered as I've been playing around with this. So right now, as I've kind of got the default device here, I haven't changed any of these settings except for one. And so I wanted to show you again. We know if you watch the other video, you know the basics of how this works is we have these tone generators and it's flowing through a certain signal flow. We then have access to these certain parameters in that signal flow that we can modulate either by clicking in the cells, and then obviously we can have direct impact by changing these values. And so what I'm finding to be really fun is to really jack with the delay time and play with really, really tight delays. So now with a greater intensity of motion here in the little cell grid, it's a little hard to hear, but try changing the offset here and then the total range to be a really, really tight range with a lower intensity, and you'll hear some pretty crazy things start to happen. Tune that down some. I'm gonna clear it, draw again. Play with that delay time. That's pretty cool. Whoa. That's cool. Whoa. Again, all I'm doing is I'm playing with the different delay times here. I'm just setting some really tight, close values. And getting some pretty crazy results. I also have it pitched down some, which is also cool. Now to make things even crazier, let's add a little bit more feedback in. This is crazy. Okay, so obviously, let me get that feedback zeroed back out. Obviously, one of the fun starting places, if you're overwhelmed by these parameters, try a really tight delay time and then try working with the feedback as well. And you can see you can get, and also in combo with a really low intensity to get those long kind of sustained tones. That and then playing with the tuning as well to try to get it. I don't know. There's something fun about those lower ranges and those tones. So there's one place to start. Another thing you could try is we could try to throw an LFO on some of these parameters. I'm just going to drag and drop it here next to my device. If you're not familiar with an LFO, it stands for low frequency oscillator, and really what you can think of it as is we're going to apply this shape to some certain parameter, and then that parameter then follows that shape. So the literal shape of the shape is important, but also the speed of that shape is important, and then we can assign it to a certain parameter to follow that direction and follow that shape and follow that rate. So I've got it here. I can just I can click on the far right button over here, and it takes me to my mapping assignments. So it would be fun to map some of these parameters to this LFO. So let's just start with some experimental things. I'm scared to map feedback, but there it goes. It's already doing its thing. Then maybe let's map the filter cue, maybe the envelope decay, and clip. And now I'm going to go back and actually draw something. And also we can play with different speeds there to see what's going to happen. So you can see if I crank the speed way up, you can see how fast these parameters are moving and scrolling. We might be able to get some really cool things happening with a really slow morphing shape. So here goes nothing. Let's see what happens. Let's speed it up some. Now I can also change this from a speed in hertz to a note value, which might be a little bit more useful musically. Let's try some different things here. I'm going to take the feedback off. I mean, there's still going to be some feedback, but I'm going to take that out of the mapping. And, I don't know, let's just try some other things. Let's try the scan. Maybe the filter morph, maybe the delay. I kind of like leaving this tight delay ratio. Oops. Oh, well, let's just leave it and see what happens. Here we go. Might as well try. Alright, let's change it up again. Let's take all these off and remap them. Whoa. Left alone in its natural state. It's doing some wacky things. I love this device. It's so much fun. This is just as the parameters were left, as is. And it's, whoa. Let's play with that tight delay time again. Dude. That is so cool. Goes to the machine, has taken over. And I'm just kind of honing in on my sweet spots here, the delay time and the feedback. And again, I've got really short intensity, which is giving me some kind of sustain here. Wow. Wow, so there's just a couple of tricks you can try. Again, centering in on the delay time and the feedback with a really short intensity. Maybe throwing an LFO on some parameters and trying some different speeds and see what happens. Try some of these experiments and let me know what you come up with.